Hi everybody, my name is Mansa, and guess what? My channel is 10 years old today! And the very first channel that I actually started uploading things on was from 2011, which is still up, but it has like very little content because I kind of scraped everything. When I made that channel, it was known as The Pokemon 517, and I tried to be a Minecraft YouTuber. I was a child. That didn't work out, so I decided to pursue art on YouTube because that was getting big at the time, and I was like, I want to try that too. I want to make speed paints, I want to make animations, I want to really indulge myself in the art world because I had a passion for art, and I thought, hey, wouldn't that be fun to make YouTube videos? And thus, Mansa12 was born. The name Mansa12 came from Mansa is a childhood nickname of mine. The numbers 1212 was because I tried to make like an account on something, and Mansa12 was already taken, so I did 1212, and then it just kind of carried over for the rest of time. So for the 10th year, I did have something planned, but it's not going to be done until maybe later this year. But today is the actual date, so I just kind of wanted to do something for it because it's pretty special. 10 years, decade. And I decided I'm just gonna like talk about my old videos, not about how I made them, but just kind of like my feelings toward them now and my reaction and like how much I've improved and all that. So that's all I can really provide right now. I haven't really been working on anything else. I'm gonna showcase videos that I made from the very beginning of my channel, but as well as videos I favored and some of my most popular, and just kind of talk about it. So let's get into it. So Minecraft, right? Minecraft has been a very long interest of mine from 2010 to now. Minecraft YouTubers were also a really big part of my childhood, and if you know Team Crafted, you know. To where we are today, present day, Hermitcraft. And my very first upload was part of a very popular Minecraft YouTuber artist at the time who hosted a multi-animated project called Butterfly Culture for Team Crafted. This is the very first video posted on my channel. It is a map part for Butterfly Culture, which is a very popular team crafted thing. It's just not posted anymore. The only way you can find it is in the Wayback Machine, which I don't even know the Wayback Machine is going to be there that long anymore, but because it's been threatened multiple times. Pink Tool Sai and Windows Movie Maker 7. Rest in peace, Windows Movie Maker 7. You were such a good beginner program. I used MS Paint before this. Oh my god. Oh my. Like, I was running out of time because the map was due soon, right? And I couldn't think of anything for these two, so I just gave them a cake and a TNT background because I was like, what objects are they known for? Cake and TNT. I did not include them in the remake I did for this. Oh my god, I never noticed how derpy his eyes look. I was actually very new to coloring at the time, and it kind of shows. When I learned about layers, I was like, oh my god, you can actually put the colors under the layer, because MS Paint didn't have layers, so I was like, layers? Oh my goodness. By the way, I didn't know how to draw humans until Minecraft. So this art style was like the first iteration of me drawing humans, because I didn't know how to draw humans before this. And this was a very popular, like the hands like this, and like the eyes and the head. This was a very popular style of Minecraft YouTuber back in the old days. Like almost every popular artist had some variation of this art style. On DeviantArt, there were a bunch of maps being hosted, so I also joined some of those. You know what's really crazy though? This one is my persona. You know, the one that you see today. But like I used to have purple and blue. But the crazy thing is, this guy right here used to be my only OC. And nowadays, that's crazy to me because I have over 170 OCs under my belt now. Oh my god, look, I didn't know about layers. I didn't know how to do transparent layers, so I just took the art and then I just like erased around it and then blurred it so that you wouldn't see the edges. That's so funny to me. Also, the wings look like fluff balls on my back. There he is again, my very first OC. Shout out to Cowgirl Project. I love that series. Anyways, I think what's really funny about this entire thing is that I don't even remember what's happening here. I don't know the storyline. I wrote this so long ago. Why does... This is like when I was trying to learn a human style away from the Minecraft style. And oh my god, the hands make me feel sick. I don't know what it is about it. Like the face too, but like the hands especially. Because I can obviously tell the hands are... they're traced. I know that, but like it just makes me feel sick looking at this entire frame because you can still clearly see some of the Minecraft style in there, and Oh, Ender Oni. Oh my goodness. Ender Oni was a very popular Minecraft fan fiction, and it was based off Ao Oni, which was like another series. It's just like a AU version of it. Look at that. That's crazy. I remember drawing this. It was like the middle of summer too. Oh yeah, the tree sand. Sorry. One thing about this song, this is gospel. Anytime I hear this song, it's just this project. I cannot get it out of my head, and I can never unhear or unsee the project when I hear the song. So this is forever burned in my brain. This project is done, by the way. Like it finished so long ago, and it's still very popular amongst like old Minecraft YouTuber fans. There was another really crazy project like that was very popular back in the old days from 2013 called Danganronpa Minecraft, which of course is a AU of Danganronpa with Minecraft YouTubers. So yeah, and they made a footnote for fan art. By who I won't tell you. So yeah, I remember this. I remember sitting in my DS. So I remember I remade this. So this is a remake of another footnote I did of the exact same thing, but the art style is more polished than the old one. Do you guys remember Ship Kids? When you used to take characters or like the persona of YouTubers and just mix them together to make a kid? That's exactly what happened here. And I'm not gonna tell you who's who in this picture, but there's no clues, and I'm not gonna tell you because yeah, that's embarrassing. This was like the very first time I worked in Adobe Flash, which rest in peace. Because I didn't understand layering at all, I didn't know how to move these eyes like left to right without like affecting the hair. So what I did was whenever they looked around, I made them blink first. Look, watch it. But like these characters belong to friends who I'm not friends with anymore, or like they just don't care about these characters, or they like remade them into characters that are not these anymore. One of my very old ex-friends got me into a Minecraft YouTuber, like a very small community in a group known as The Crew, which was Rage Gaming videos, Hollow Generation, Karaxu, Evan111 and Evans111 and Fluke, which and like all their other friends like Cade and Nexus and all them. But like, yeah, and my friend was really obsessed with Map Stratavanza, which was a series on Machinima, if you remember. And me and my friends used to like watch all their videos and like have chats about them and draw them all the time. So this is like the era, and this is also when like one of the more popular Minecraft YouTube artists also got into the crew or like making content of the crew, and it was like really popping off. And then it just kind of died after a while. I know Rage doesn't even do Minecraft videos anymore. He like stepped away a long time ago and was like, no more Minecraft. I don't understand a lot of my old designs for them. Bro has a R on his like shirt like he's Team Rocket. That's so funny to me. He also has an H. I don't understand why Hollow has these shoulder things. I don't know. It sure was a design choice. I think maybe because one of the more popular artists had the shoulder things at the time, but like this was like sure style. And the arm warmers were like the big thing DNR back then. This always bothered me because I forgot to turn off this layer. I did a lot of tweening, like that. This one was made in Adobe Flash, yes? Yeah. And this is obviously a ship thing. And I was always like, it's not a ship, it's not. Yes, it was. Rollo was crazy. When I started learning more tweening on Adobe Flash, I didn't know much about Adobe Flash before this, and I was like learning off YouTube tutorials and stuff. You know how it is. You know how it is. Oh, you know what? This video used to have annotations. Like, you know those little like annotation boxes and comments that on old YouTube? It used to have that, but like because YouTube removed it, you can't even see it anymore. Night in the Woods was a indie game that I really enjoyed as a kid, where you basically play as this cat named May. She dropped out of college, she came back home, people are moving on with their lives without her, and she has a mental illness, and she's like trying to deal with it and cope with it, and everything around her is changing. A lot of people did not like my art style. A lot of people were really annoyed with my art style because it wasn't like close to canon, which is really weird because that's what fan art is. but they just called my art style ugly. And a lot of the comments that I got on these were really negative, and it affected me. So I started deleting all the negative ones. So now you only see positive ones. I was 17. My ego was fragile. Yeah. I don't know. So this project took, I remember, so long, but I'm still very proud of like how far I came in terms of making AMVs, PMVs. This is like one of my first big ones. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't know how to draw those electricity poles where like the lines were like dangling. You know what I'm talking about, like that. So that's like the best I could do. You can see how I wasn't really that great at doing backgrounds, especially when it came to texture. This is like the best I could do for wood texture. um, yeah. I didn't really prioritize backgrounds as much as I do now. Um, but the backgrounds did make at least some kind of atmosphere. Oh, you know when I was making this, I wasn't sure who to put for the letters because it was like the GWB, like Greg, and then Angus, and then B because I thought that'd be cool. So I was like, Angus didn't fit, but I was like, yeah, GWB. Because when it came to like making a lot of old AMVs and stuff, I used to cut out instrumental a lot, just because I did not want to fill that time. It was like this transition where she's like dissociating, and it just transitions to a different version of her from the dream sequence, and I thought that was like the coolest thing. I was like, people are gonna love that. They did. There was this huge error that I made here in this frame, and it was just too late for me to fix it because I actually merged the layers by mistake. But May's mom is actually not this color. She's blue. Yeah, she's this color. But I messed up, and that like this issue was like forever getting on my nerves. Also, the whiskers are two different colors. I don't know why that is. I didn't know about clipping layers back then. I don't think because the layers were clipping layers were just like something I didn't know about, and I didn't learn about it until like very later on. This frame right here where it just says breathe, I originally wanted to make like a full illustration of every single character, but then I realized it wasn't possible and I didn't have the energy for it, so I just did this instead. In Audacity, and I still do because I don't have Adobe Student anymore. Paint Tool Sci, it's like all the art and stuff, and then I used to use Macromedia to pan everything, and then I used Swivel, which converted the SWF to MP4, and then I put it in Movies Window Maker, and then I used Sony Vegas for the text and rendering because I didn't know Sony Vegas could actually move things, so I just didn't bother with that. Nowadays, Sony Vegas does not really support Windows 10 as much because I've noticed when I moved to Windows 10, it just started crashing and crashing and crashing so much more, so I just stopped using it. So this is during a time period when I was in AP Art, right? And their faces are a little weird in this video, like the eyes are really small and then the nose is really weird. This is because my art teacher at the time was telling me that like my art style was too anime and it wasn't fitting the standards he wanted, and he told me to change my art style. So this was the change I made, which I don't know how I feel about it because I feel like it's kind of ugly, but also like helped me to grow more in my art style and my anatomy. But I don't know. I took a reference picture for this, and I guess I drew the arm. Way too long. The accidental trans flag kills me every time. That wasn't even. This was not intentional. I was just like, how do I use all the colors in like one background? I was like, oh, I know. But yeah. I started reading My Hero Academia in 2014 by mistake, and I just kind of like picked it up and I was like, wow, this is great. And then My Hero Academia finished this year, and I was like, wow, that was cool. 10 years of My Hero. So Warrior Cats was a really big thing on YouTube back then and now. And back then the animation community was huge on Warrior Cats, and a lot of that is how a lot of people got inspired to do animation and draw, including me. I didn't do a lot of Warrior Cat content, but I was always very creatively pushed by warrior cat animators and artists that I saw on YouTube, especially like a lot of the big older artists. And I remember I was like, I want to do that. So I never really did that many warrior cat stuff because I don't know. I love the books. I love the stories, but I never really got invested enough to join maps and stuff, so I just didn't. But it's a very rare occasion that I draw warrior cats and showcase it here. And a lot of people have clocked that the way I draw animals is very, especially cats, is very warrior cat style. And that's because I was a very big fan of warrior cats growing up, and I still kind of am. I love warrior cats. Spotted. This is Spotted Leaf giving Blue Star the prophecy fire along will save our clan. So when I did the cosplay videos, right, I never showed my face before then, and I was actually terrified of showing my face. I'm not gonna play any of the cosplay ones, but I just want to say that like I was terrified of showing my face, and I didn't know what to show on camera, how to be in front of camera, because that's like a big thing cosplayers learn, how to be on camera, and it was scary. And a lot of the video footage is me not knowing what to film, and I didn't want to film other people, so I would film myself like fixing my wig in my camera, and that's like a big staple that I decided to keep in most of my newer videos, just because it just gives me a reminder where it came from, and also it's kind of cute. So yeah, I decided to make a new project that would last a year, where I would basically tell the story of one of my OCs and how her story went. And this story is known as Pridefall or Pridefault. I haven't really named it properly yet, but this is basically Mocha's story. And this story exists within my OC world, so it's not a warrior cat OC thing. It's actual like world building within my character world. And my favorite thing about this whole story right now, right, is that this character was the only one to exist when I started the story. And then I started building off of her. Like I made her brother, and I made her dad, I made her mom, I made her uncle who was the villain, etc. It was crazy. It just kept building and building and building, and I never expected so many characters to come out just with this one character. These guys are big cats. People don't understand what they are. Mocha is a maned lioness, which I love maned lionesses. They're so cool. But I can see how they look like just house cats, but they're big cats. I was really getting into learning how to draw emotions, which is really strong nowadays, but like learning how to express my character's face enough where it's like a really powerful emotion was like one of the first skills to move my art forward. This project concluded in December of 2020. Began in January, ended December. So yes, it was like a year-long thing. And this is actually when I switched my tablet, because I was using a Wacom Surface tablet, and then I switched to my very first screen tablet. So my art style changed dramatically because I was learning how to use the new tablet. And my art style was different between tablets for some reason, but I didn't understand that until, I could actually visibly see and draw. So this art style is a little more different and like a lot more rounder than my original tablet art style, and that's fine. And I also learned how to adapt, and my art style grew and changed from it. Like more defined, more sharp, less round. Right? So when that change happened, I wasn't very happy about how round these characters looked because I wasn't used to the tablet. So yeah. I think I changed my tablet a year later because there were some colors that you could not see on that tablet. It was like I think a 6-bit instead of an 8-bit. So there were like certain colors that I was having trouble seeing, especially I think reds were like one of the biggest problems. Because red wasn't showing up as well. And like I noticed it for like a whole year that like the color was different from like another monitor or a screen, and it was driving me nuts. The way I learned how to do a lot of newer projects was because of my development here. I really do enjoy understanding where I came from and how I've improved since that time. Yeah. Oh god, that pisses me off. Did you guys see the shadow change? For some reason, I don't know what it was. I just redrew. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know why I redrew him. I could have just kept the same frame. I was on something else. I drew half these projects in like a week. I was on something else. And I really wanted to update him, but it's kind of too late because he's been in like original drawings so long. I do want to redesign him where he looks a little more like Mocha, like where he's like a little more brown. But I also don't know if I want to do that because he's my second OC ever, and he's special. And I'm like, I don't know. Whatever. Oh, so in this storyline, by the way, if you are like leader and deputy, you get a crown above your head. So I thought that was cool. And if you're a deputy, you get a silver crown. And in this story, if you want to feed the dead, you have to have special flowers that only grow in specific areas in like specific points on the moon, known as wishing flowers. And once you have them, your wish will be granted to see your loved one who passed on. So one thing I wanted to make very clear in like my stories is that death is a very heavy thing, and you can't just see the spirits of ones you loved whenever you want, and you have to do specific things, and sometimes some people will never see them again, and that's just how heavy death works. I loved Pokemon Mystery Dungeon as a kid, and I had a Pokesona and everything. And I used to play, I think Explorers of the Sky or Blue or Red or whatever. And there was a team members that like there's this one specific team I played on, and it was with a Charmander partner, and I was a Shinx, and that's where my current storyline these guys came from, Shinx. And I thought it would be funny to have like a jaded partner. No, like Shinx is jaded, and then a very go happy lucky partner, the Charmander. So that was the original premise of this story, and it was like not within the whole like I turned into a human storyline, like just like their own separate storyline. That was like the original comic and everything, and that comic dub is no longer up because there was somebody in there I don't want to be associated with. But yeah, people loved that, and I rebooted the comic. I haven't really been working on it since January, but it's been rebooted. So I think around this time I started to play with new programs because as much as I love Paint Tool Sai, it was not really too optimal to be animating on anymore in the year 2022 because it was getting really hard to keep up with it without a timeline. Because if you know anything, Paint Tool Sai is an illustration program. It was only used for illustration and not animation, and most people try to make animation with it by like making multiple layers and onion skin it themselves and stuff, but like it's just not optimal to keep doing that for the like continuing on. So I decided to look around for more programs, and the first program that I think I tried was known as Krita. So the Krita had actually a timeline. It's free. There's a lot of settings. I didn't really understand the settings because I don't know. I don't hate Krita. I think Krita is a very good like program to start off with when it comes to animation and timelines and stuff. But for me, it was very confusing because there are a lot of options and buttons, and I just did not kind of clash with that. So this is the very first and probably only thing I made on Krita because Krita at the time had a timeline, but it would skip frames when it played back, and I didn't like that. So I didn't even come back to it, and I just pretended I lost the file because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. Clip Studio Paint and actually bought EXs was the very first animation I ever made.
You need one to die.
Oh yeah, these things are insane. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is I saw you jump off, so then I jumped off.
Having a timeline was like life-changing. Having an actual timeline to animate and not do frame by frame animation by like draw, export, put it into piece by piece. It was like life-changing. It was crazy to me. So having a timeline was great. There is audio scrubbing in Clip Studio Paint 3.0, but I don't have 3.0. I have 2.0, and I just don't want to pay. So I would love audio scrubbing so badly, but I don't want to upgrade for $65. That's crazy. No thanks. Having a timeline was crazy. I went hard on this animation for some reason because I was just like playing around with Clip Studio. I don't have to sacrifice my happiness for anybody. So now that we've seen like most of my old videos and stuff, let's get into my most popular ones because, oh boy, let me tell you, I know. So I grew up and I loved games that had storytelling in them very much, especially things like Kingdom Hearts, The Legend of Zelda, etc., etc. And anything that had like a series where the story was overarching, oh my goodness, I was all for it. Legend of Zelda, one of them. Wind Waker was one of my favorites. I also love Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, etc., etc. And I don't know, Wind Waker was just so nostalgic for me because it was like one of the most unique styles of Zelda I've ever seen growing up. I remember when I was making this, I was like trying to learn the art style, the cell shading and everything. Um, and I was trying to copy some of the main game frames, like this one. Um, and then this, oh my god, this frame, I didn't know how to draw the background, so I just blurred it and then drew over the statue of Ocarina of Time, Link, and Toon Link looking at him. Um, and this shot was like one of my favorites to make. And I put it. This one was like a custom frame that wasn't in the game, but I thought it would be really cool to just like have the king being like, "Hey, I'm going to stay behind" and everything, and they're like, "No." This, because this was still on Paint Slide, right? So this was still like frame by frame in Windows Movie Maker and stuff. Um, right, dude. If I had a nickel for every time I drew Phil's a killing Will, crazy. I don't support Wilbur, by the way. Just saying that now. Or Dream. I don't like Dream either. And you know, being one of the biggest SMPs at the time, how could you not draw something for it? Especially if you were a Minecraft YouTuber fan. I made Technoblade so round. I know I really used a lot of frames just because I didn't want to. Why did I never understood why I did that, right? Why did I draw 3 discs? There's only 2 discs. Oh well. This one was just fun to make. I just had a lot of fun making this one. It's just like a little silly thing with Hamilton, you know. And how the Constitutional Convention. I was there as a New York delegate. What I was saying may sound indelicate. I just thought it fit a lot more, you know. I was also playing with like a new pencil brush. Nah, because everyone ignored this one. It made me laugh so hard.
Slap his thigh when he walked. I shall listen when he talks. And you posted this saying sheesh with 18 Android emojis.
I love the audio so much. I was just like, I gotta use this. My favorite thing about this whole thing is that you can see how Jimmy's earwings move, like when he's pointing. Where is it?
So when he talked. And
and you posted. That was my favorite. And just you posted. When you walk, I should look. This is Scott. And then there's Joel. And then there's Martin. Martin goes, bro. And the replies. Dude, I almost didn't finish this one. Because coloring was so tedious, I almost gave up. But I didn't. You guys like my season, I think season 9, Grian? Where he's a cat. He's a cat bird. With these are not feathers, these are actually part of his ears. So they're just colored like this and then part of his ears. They look like feathers though. Oh, I didn't give Grian a mouth because I was just too lazy. And I was like, his skin doesn't have a mouth anyways. I made Grian the same type of cat his cat Maui is because I thought that'd be cute. Oh, Jelly, I miss Jelly. Did you guys see Scar's new cats though? They're so cute. What was it, Finn and KDB or something? They're so cute. They're so cute. I don't know how much I have to post about Evo to let you know that I loved Evo. No good reason to take believing that we could ever resist it. I think when people didn't understand about this was that so this is Grian's point of view, and this is him become a watcher or whatever, and then he's like reaching his hand out to every single member of the Evo SMP, and they're like, oh man. And then when it ends on Martin, like this big B, right here, it ends with Martin. He's doing the same thing. He's reaching out to Grian, and then he wakes up, and it's Martin. Oh. And then there's Grian in the background, like, I'm not here. One thing I love about the whole like avian earwings thing is that you can move. I see too often that people don't do much with the earwings besides like side to side, open close, open close. You can do so much with it. You can like hide their eyes. You can use them to like as like sun blockers. Like, you can do so much with earrings. This was the very first project that literally made my channel like go from like 300 subscribers to 800 in less than a week. It was crazy. This was Last Life. I think these frames look familiar because I used them in my map part, like the map I'm hosting. I used a lot of these, so I had people reanimate these moments because it's easier for me. Work smart, not harder. Green, yellow, red, right? And then like black. Black is the color of death. So whenever a character dies, their eyes turn black or something that indicates their color turns black. And I think it's seen more and more in like my newer stuff. But yeah. I really did enjoy making this one. I don't know why Big B's bald. Why did I make him bald? Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Why is he bald? He's bald. He's torturing people who have hair. I made this in like less than 3 days, I think. I don't know how, but my wrist is not falling apart yet. Maybe one of these days I should just make, like, if I want to do a specific part from the song, I should just animate that little part instead of like an entire thing. But yeah. When I finished this, when I finished this entire part, this was like literally the day that the Last Life finished and Martin released this. And I was like, I gotta speed through that. So I did that in like less than 3 hours. My watcher design changes so often. Like every single video, the watcher design is different. I just can't like make up my mind. That was very Atus. This is very Atus design. Oh my goodness. And the universe spins or something, whatever that fanfic's called. And the universe shifts. That's what it's called. Sorry. This one is one of my more like underrated animes. I think it's the Third Life one. Not many people watched it. But I still love it to bits because, yeah. I also flipped through styles for this one because I thought it'd be fun. See? If I had a nickel for every time I drew Scar blowing up, I'd have 5. I was so proud of this when I made it, by the way, because like it was like the sign of me improving in art, and I was like getting better animation. And I just enjoyed this project a lot. I just kind of wish that more people saw it, so I was like, man, I worked so hard on this one. And I put this one also in my map call. What did I do to deserve this? Like, they have like little like indicators on their body. There's a headcanon that I made in this video that I just kind of kept throughout the rest of any other videos I've made. You see this like this cape that Scar has on that has a heart here and everything? He gives that to Grian right before they fight. Just so it hurts a little more. So, yeah. And then like when he dies, like Scar dies, it turns black because it was attached to Scar. Dude, I love Azuma and Evil X so much. So here's a... I love this. So, I was using Sony Vegas, right? And it was like the where I really decided to work with the animation pans and stuff. And it came out so good, especially the text. And they also switch the dialogue every so often, like the voice switches between them, just to fit them instead of the actual song. So I love doing the text because it was just so cool. Yeah, this was season 8, by the way, if you're wondering. Easy as. See, look, oh my god, that was so unintentional, but it came out so good. Not alone. That came out so good, and it was so unintentional, and I always insisting on not reminiscing. This is headcanon again. Again, this is a headcanon, you know, when they used to be like really close brothers, and something happened between them. There's like Evil X and Azuma. I don't think I have a very good grasp on how to do rotations. Like, you know when characters are like in a circle and like the camera pans around them in a circle? I don't think I have a very good grasp on that still, and I really want to learn that because it's so cool. I tried, you know. I was still learning how to animate, but you know, improvement is improvement. You know, that's cool. You say what you need to say. I don't know why, but I just love when characters are crying and they blink really hard. I just really enjoy doing that. It's like not even logical, but it just aesthetically it's so cool. You can see when he's like yelling at him, Pearl's eyes turning red. Oh, these lip syncs, these two lip syncs are not the same like copy paste. These are different lip syncs. I did 4 sets of lip syncs. Why was Tilly's animation so good? Tilly's animation was better than these 4. And I'll let you go. Is that good for you? Would that be good for you? If you know anything about me, then you would know that I've watched Korean since like Craft Movie. So I've been following this man for so long, and like I follow him through all his adventures and all his building tutorials and everything. I was such a big fan. I decided to like make a whole project dedicated to Korean and his content because I've been following him for so long, and I was like just a big fan. You'll never see it, but I'm just saying. There's like salted and peppered and bull in the background with green. That's his link skin. His link skin is like illegally bright. Okay? It's brighter than highlighter. Evo. See, my watch design changes so often. Their life. I remember scripting this and being like, would this fit? Do I have enough time? I think at the time only Double Life was done here. And then this animation, I was debating how I wanted to do it, but I thought it'd be, fun for him to like jump off a ledge and then like it transitions. Aww. This was so much fun to make. I remember sitting there animating some of these scenes for a day or so. Oh my god, I miss YHS shows. And then season 6 of Hermitcraft. And I remember telling people like, oh, how many seasons can you spot? Can you see all the references? And people were so crazy about that, just as much as I was. I love this animation still. This one right here where Korean's like looking into the portal and live slash. Take me on. I love the fact that in canon that Pepper is a character, but like in the behind the scenes of all the Crafty movie stuff, Pepper is being played by somebody else because he's not real, and sometimes Green would play him, and I just had like a little fursuit of Pepper and Green would play him. I didn't want to draw the barge, so I just took a screenshot and blurred it a little bit. Oh, I want Green to bring this series back someday. I love this series. Jay the Star, Pearl, and like friendly beef. Evo. Minecraft, like when you kill the end dragon nowadays, you don't even get like all this XP anymore. It's just like one clump of 70. It's kind of sad. I was mad about this because I forgot to put this on multiply. So you just see the shadow or whatever. Maui and Pearl. Oh, Jelly. This thing got so popular. Yeah, I've been working for such a long time. That was so good. This is like one of my bigger projects of 2021, I think. So at the time I didn't know what to make Korean's Evo design because I didn't have a design at the time. This design is inspired by my friend Yuno and their Korean cosplay, their Rewatching cosplay at the time. It was insane. I was like, can I borrow your design for an animation? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool, thanks, Yuno. They're chill. They're fun. Insanity Dog 25 on TikTok. They're very cool. I remember making all this, and dude, I don't know what possessed me, but I animated the dragon so well. So originally, this shot here, when he does this, he's supposed to have a flashback of like all the things, but I decided to put it till later. The dragon shoots like I think the dragon used to shoot fireballs and not like the purple. Yeah, I don't know. I heavily referenced like a few videos to help me animate. Like, I think it's the Breath of the Wild one that helped me with this shot, where he's like on the ground and then he turns around and picks up his bow and then runs. If I were to do this again, like this run cycle again, I would definitely try and make the background move faster, because it did not look like, wow, that pissed me off. Where he's just like running in place for that few straight, like the background wasn't long enough, I don't think. I was so proud of that, like when he destroys the end crystal and it like rumbles. So one thing this animation that like I didn't take account for is the you see how like it's really blurry? It's because I didn't do something in my editing program and it just like uploaded like that. But I didn't know about it until like 2022 or something like that. Again, this was a reference shot where he's rolling. I should reference some more shots. Learn some more stuff. This was done in Clip Studio, I think. And then like some of these artworks look really blurred. And then here's the flashback shots. I remember asking my friend for animation help on how to do this because like he takes his hat off and he becomes this Korean. And then I remember asking like, oh. So originally I actually had an animation of him jumping into the portal. But I just cut it out because I didn't feel like even working with that. And this is Innu's green design. Very cool. I like the idea when he escaped the Watchers for the Life series, he like punched the celestial floor and broke out. Boop, 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 boop. This is limited life. Why is Scar's neck so big? This is Scar because it's a wheelchair. Why is his neck so huge? The funny thing about this one is that I uploaded it, I think, a day or so before my cousin's birthday party, and it blew up that day on my cousin's birthday party, and I was just like sitting at my aunt's house, like chilling with my cousin, and suddenly my phone gets tons and tons of like comments and messages about this post, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I remember sitting on my aunt's stairs and just being like, whoa. And then my cousin's like, play Mario Party with us. Also, this was like the first introduction to people who didn't know that the Life series on like Twitter and Tumblr were known as Traffic Life. So that was also really cool. This is my Watcher green design. I did change him a little bit past this, but him killing him. I just like the shadow. That like it's not even his actual eyes. It's just the two long eyes. It's Martin getting talked to by the Watchers. So I made this shot before I knew how they died in the third life because that episode wasn't out yet. So I just kind of assumed, yeah, they're dead here. And then Green falling. Green falling became like a staple point where I just kept doing that to other members that were falling. But I thought it would be cooler if I had like a glitch symbol. I originally had the idea that Green was like a Void Watcher. So like this gunk would grow on his face and like try to corrupt him. I don't know. I don't think I kept that though. Oh my god, I was so upset that this video got so much more popular than the multi-animated project. The biggest one I ever held was the Enderoni one. And this one got so much more popular than that in like less than a week. It was crazy. It got like 40-something K views. I don't know why, but like when I was doing the whole peace, love, and plants, I saw a post that was like unspeakable violence, and I was like, that's funny. I'll put it there. This video I was making because I was bored. Even though I had like college work to do, but I just was bored. So I just had Drian like pan up and down behind this window, and then just why weren't you at elf practice? I love that audio. It was like December too, wasn't it? Yeah, because it was circulating around Tumblr again. That like meme goes around Tumblr every like Christmas. Why weren't you at elf practice? Why weren't you at the Bodum meeting? I made this one just because I thought it'd be funny. And I was originally going to animate the entire scene, but I just got tired and didn't.
Hi, how may I assist you?
Oh, what?
It's one of my favorite drawings of him.
What? What?
Originally, I was going to have him laughing, like, towards the camera.
What?
Like, looking this way. But I decided it'd be funnier if he was looking away, trying to hide his face from, you know. Blue hair tango. This is funny to me because me and Jasper never met in elementary school. I just thought it would throw more of an impact. So we actually didn't know each other at this age at all. I met him in middle school. You should see the folders for this. This is absolutely a mess. So I skipped over a lot of the sketching process. I just used my storyboards as a sketch, and I just did not have time to be clean. And yeah. So my persona's wings are very detailed, but when it comes to animating them, they're just dots. Instead of like all the stars I had on my graph. I used to have a star here, but I was told it was kind of offensive, so I removed the star. My old persona. Because it looked like it represented something else. So I removed it. So anytime you see my old persona, it's just a moon and nothing else. I'm so mad about that. So when I was rendering, there's this little black screen. Like that. That happened. And it pissed me off. And I couldn't fix it because everything was uploaded already. When I was making this whole entire scene, I remember I took my persona and I put a blue layer over it so it would show cool colors. So I just colored pictures from those. This scene was animated in my car. I was sitting in the backseat of my car on my iPad and my laptop animating the scene. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Artist on a deadline behavior. This is where I took all my energy and all my knowledge of making really strong expressions and put it all here, where I just start crying like that. So, my intended purpose was that I just did like a little smile, like a little shaky smile, and then it broke. And the star came back to my eyes. So that was really powerful. I know what you're thinking. Watch it! Scopophobia, right? Scopophobia is the fear of being watched or looked at. And I didn't know that was such a big thing until I posted Watcher fan art on Tumblr and everyone was reblogging it with scopophobia, and I was like, I didn't know that was such a big thing. My favorite thing about this whole animatic PNV thing is that it all started with this frame right here, because I was like, oh, I'll just make a little animation swing. And then my brain was like, what if you do an entire animatic like that? Painted and everything. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. That'd take a lot of time, but that'd be cool. And my determination won. Also, the song, God Must Hate Me, I found it on a WordCat PNV. So, take that as you will.
Do you ever see someone?
Oh my god, I hated this thing. This illustration here. I hated it. It just did not look good, and I did not want to redo it. Originally, he was supposed to be transparent here, but I thought it'd be cool if you can see him entirely. Also, you can see my canary curse headcanon thing where he just turns to a canary by the end of the series. So he has no wings here. He's just human. Scott's crying over him. Also, he was shot in the head. He was shot in the head in the original, but I thought it'd be fine if I just did it in the chest instead, so that it's not as hard to draw. This was based off my winner's drawing. See, this is what I mean by you can do so much with the earrings. You can hide his head. Over time, I really liked the look of having to be able to see their actual eye color. So a lot of the times I would put their life color in their iris or pupil or whatever it's called. I actually did not know how I was going to do this shot, because this shot is just him falling, and I'm like, how am I going to portray the fact that he's falling? And I decided to pair it with this shot where he falls off the building, and you can see Grian moving upwards and him going down, the camera moving. And then he wakes up with more canary stuff. The way the limited double life one worked is that he only has 2 layers of feathers here instead of 3, so he can't fly. See, he only has 2 layers of feathers, which a lot of people did not catch. Short-lived renters. I don't know. When I was making the Enderman, I kind of wanted him to resemble the Watchers a little bit more, so I made him glow purple, like all this stuff, extra stuff. And I thought it'd be really cool. And people actually clocked on to the fact that he's representing the Watchers with this. I kind of regret giving him such a big piece of chicken. It looks so funny. But he was eating chicken, and he's like, Jimmy, hold on, Jimmy, hold on! He was like... I also like the headcanon that, like, with Double Life, when they're in pain or distress, they can feel their partner's distress like this, in pain. They didn't die together, but, like, this is how I feel like when he, you know, he gets killed by the Enderman's, like, a slash of blood, and then, like, for Tango, his fire's going out. I just needed something to fit the words. They got lucky, because Jimmy is not lucky in this series. So they got lucky, and it's just Scott and Martin together. And you have Smallish Beans being like, I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. You want to be a bad boy? We're bad boys. For the limited life, I like the idea of having a watch on them with the color of their life, and also, like, they can tap it to see, like, a hologram of the time they have left. And I made it purple, of course, with Watchers. Originally, you were supposed to see Scar. Like, this was originally supposed to be a Scar. Like, you can see him more, but I just decided just his hand's fine. I like how you can barely see it, but, like, his mouth is weird because I didn't finish it, and I tried to hide it behind Rian. And these two dots, like, these two stars that are purple were supposed to represent Watch Your Eyes. This shot was really cool to make. I was having a lot of fun. I forgot to detail this, but I was like, whatever. What's wrong with me? When I was making this, I actually, something went wrong with the access point of the tween, so it didn't make like a perfect spin, and it pissed me off, but I just was too tired to fix it. But it still looks cool nonetheless. Also, my favorite thing about this frame right here is that he wasn't supposed to be wearing his Bad Boys outfit because I messed up, but I decided to go with it instead. Because he was just supposed to be wearing his blue and white shirt here. I wish I had more time to even, like, with this frame, because it went by so quickly. And I didn't have time to even, like, do much with it. So it's just the moon, which is Pearl, and then the star, which is Scott. My favorite detail about this whole animatic is that when he falls, the Watchers, you saw a little streak right there, they clip his wings so he can't fly. The TNT cart falls in the background. And one thing I noticed about rewatching the video a ton to make this scene is that when Jimmy falls and trying to use his bucket, he has his shield equipped, and his shield prioritizes the bucket, meaning that his shield is first in front of the bucket. So even if he tried to clutch from that height, the bucket would not activate because the shield is prioritizing. This is like Minecraft mechanic, and he died because of that. So if he didn't have his shield equipped, he actually might have lived. I like the idea of, like, this is headcanon again, but, like, Watcher Green, when he goes up to Jimmy's body, he finds, like, purple bits on his wings and realizes they clipped him. See? And there's Jimmy's, and then they're, like, joking about throwing carrots and diamonds. If you didn't notice it before, I let them have, like, his feather, like, on them. I didn't know where to put it on Joel, so I just had him, like, on his shoulder. And, like, the wings are in Jim Green's feathers. And there's Impulse doing the you can barely see it, but he's doing the Family Guy pose. He's dead. Maybe I shouldn't have done the fall. But anyways, this is the same fall that Green was doing in the other one. And then these little diamonds, I don't think anyone caught that, but these little diamonds was from Martin's lore when he won. Remember when he was falling? These little, like, stars were around him. And I thought this song would fit him very well, and it's a Disney song, and Scar loves Disney, and I love Tangled the series, and Tangled the movie, and Flynn Rider, aka Eugene's song, actually really fits, like, Scar and his voice and his, like, and his story here. Even though in canon with Eugene, this song doesn't make a lot of sense at all. He just kind of became a roadblock for the plot, but still, I think it fits Scar very well. His third life, and he's like, oh, I think I'm an outcast. And then you have, oh, I forgot to mention, like, a lot of people don't know this, but I made Scar a unicorn in Last Life, sorry. because he's like magical mountain. He's a unicorn. That's pretty magical. I like to think that Scar felt like loyalty was really hard to come by, and he felt really unsure about people's loyalty with him, especially in Double Life when he was like, "Oh, I'm Grian's partner," and Grian wanted like nothing to do with him. You can see like, you know, like I like this image. It's just like Scar, and then Joel's like laughing.
I thought I was so lucky, it almost wasn't.
See, a lot of people, when it comes to Grian in Double Life, they like to be like, "Oh, Scar," but like I like to portray like how Grian actually feels. Like it's like whatever. Maybe he feels guilty about Third Life or Limited Life. I don't know. I keep saying Limna. It's Last Life. Last Life, Limited Life. LLL. You can see him like giving the cookies. I like Jelly's face in this one. And then he just falls off the horse and dies. And then like I have him do the same pose for all three deaths so far. And you can see Grian's hands and stuff here. Then Grian kills Scar. He just couldn't resist. And I also have the headcanon that every single Scar that's like this is from the explosion. I think he just came with this one. I don't know. I just like this one a lot. And like the chest scar is there now. Castles made of sand. Like, castles made of sand. I was so weak. I was like listening to the song. I heard castles made of sand. I'm like, I'm weak. I'm weak. I decided to make the background crack like this. And I thought it'd be cool if it just like cracked into pieces and fell. Like that. This shot. Oh my god. All the budgeting for this, which is none, but like all the work and effort in this project went into this turn. Here's his regular skin, and then here's Third Life with the cape and his pecs out, and then he turns again, and it becomes, look, the unicorn from Last Life. And then there's the Double Life. And there's Limited Life. Or, yeah, Limited Life. And then when he falls down, it becomes Secret Life. Who am I supposed to be? The next one I wanted to check out is like a similar style, and it's meant to be that way. And it is a Martin animation. And I wanted to talk about it a little more because this was the newest one, and I was getting so tired. And like this end bit right here was kind of rushed, but also it was unplanned, and I decided like last minute to do something different from what I wrote down. So when I was animating this part, I don't know why I put so much effort into him grabbing the thing. It was crazy. I'm gonna skip over the thing here. So I like this animation right here. It's really subtle. I was like looking back at Third Life episodes, like when did they meet? It was because the Phantoms were attacking and they jumped into a little hole of water. And then they were just like hanging out together. And then it's like, yeah, tell them about enchanting. So my original headcanon for Third Life is that the more death Ren has, like the first death and second death, by the third death, he is like pure dog. Like he got that dog in him. Sorry. I remember for this animation, I was debating on doing an impact frame. Like that. Like if it would make a difference, and it made a huge difference. And this is like pure trauma. And he just wakes up like nothing. You know where this pose is referenced from? It's from a Pokemon animation. I was like, I wanted to try something new with like animations and stuff, so I decided to do this like little two-person thing and then like one main thing in the middle, and it worked out really well. Also, I love doing lip sync. I don't know what about you, but I love drawing lip syncs. I just like how satisfying it is when you finish doing lip syncs. Terry, that's Terry, bro. Who's Big B? That's Terry. Did not want to do the stitches anymore, so she has this like little. You know how like Cleo has two skin tones on her skin? Like it's like a light green and then like a dark green. So the light green is actually a skull on her face now. You know, somebody pointed out to me the other day that like Martin's facial hair that I gave him looks a lot like Naruto's like fox markings on his face, and I just like could not undersee it. But that's fine. That's fair because Martin's persona actually was a Naruto OC. So, and I just like the idea that like it's circled around with like partners. You can barely see it, but this is Grian. This is Grian right here, but you can't see it. Also, Grian's not taller than Martin, so I just tried to make it so you would see somebody here. That's Pearl. It's Cleo, and then there's Scott. I like the idea of like them pushing like Cleo pushing Martin down, and Scott in them like grabbing a hold of him and pulling him back. That animation was actually really hard to see, but I really enjoyed it. So if you like animations and stuff, I would very much recommend going back and playing them frame by frame. The colon and the period button, the back and forth keys. This transition was also really not smooth, but there wasn't much I can do. So this is him burning Scott, and then turns into the dogs, the big dogs. Him having flashbacks about his like last deaths from each series, and then this is Jimmy's hand. Martin feeling like you know, he's not worthy of a person when it comes to his partners. But he also feels like he's worth a lot more than they give him credit for. This part was specifically the reason why I wanted to do this song. Where he's just standing and looking at his past thing and being like, but that doesn't make you right. This is like specifically the part I wanted to animate with this song so badly. So when I finally got to it, I was like, yeah, yeah. So I'm not worthy, but that doesn't make you right. Crazy. You know, I think it's obvious. I don't know if it's obvious or not, but like I forgot the dog ears, like half this animation here, and just put them in later on. Yeah, it might be noticeable. He runs off. So again, this is the part, because like once I finished animating the part I really wanted to, I didn't know what to do with the rest of the video. Besides the secret life stuff. So, oh no, I did know what I wanted to do with this part. So basically, because Ren is actually in an episode with Tango, like substituting for Tango on his account. It's like, oh hi Tango. Like this is when he tried to kill them with the anvil. And then he like Martin clocks that like Ren is in. No, that's not. Don't say that. Martin clocks that like Ren is like his soul is within Tango, and he's like, "Are you Ren?" And he's like, "No." That didn't happen canon, but in my head it did. So I didn't know how to draw Martin's last death because he was like, his pearl was going up, and then like I guess because he got domed by this arrow. So this is like the best I could do. Like impact frame. Impact frames are fun. I should do more of those. And then again, my watcher design is different. I told you, they change every time. I like the idea because like they have eyes on their tongue. Because like Martin was like, oh, they like feasting on like sad and angst and stuff. So Martin, this is a secret life, right? Martin has already won limited life, but he doesn't have the purple crown. And I like the idea. So originally, when I made this part, I didn't know what I was gonna do with this part. I just decided like it's in black and white, and maybe he sees Ren again. And whoa, what if Ren gives him his crown? How much significance would that bring? So I did that. I like the idea of like Martin was like running away, and then Ren was like, "No, stop! I need to talk to you." And he turned around. He was like, "What?" this is the part was like it was super rushed because I wanted to get done finally because it's been like 3 weeks and I was getting tired. But I kept forgetting his headband here. Just ignore that. I like the transition with the Dogwarts flag. And then like Ren does something like super unexpected. And then he like puts the crown on Martin. And then he kneels down. I think you saw that frame. This bothers me like no end. But you can see that like I had the coral on him and then like next frame disappears. That will forever bother me. The thing about being an animator and an artist that you'll see things people won't even see and it's gonna bother you forever. And I didn't want to draw it from his head here, so I just did this. He turns around. He's like, "What?" And everyone here has their crown. There have Scar, you have Grian, you have Scott, you have Pearl. I originally didn't know if I wanted to put Scar here and still have him like suffering in the secret life space, but then I feel like people would like clock me, being like, "Hey, he's not there." So I put him in there. Big B is massive here. Also, I was like, I don't know what I was doing when I was drawing these heads, but like some of them are bigger than the others. Oh well. But yeah, this is like one of my favorite scenes from this as well. Even though it was unplanned, it is still so good. It's like they're in the Watcher's Void. I like Watcher's Void. It's like a limbo space. It's like it's a fun headcanon and concept that they're all in the Watcher's Void together till the next season, or they're following. I don't know. I have a lot of headcanons away from Martin's Aizen years AU. And that's the fun of it. Life. Whatever. It's so cute. Yeah, and then thanks for watching. I like doing that. Thanks for watching. You've seen a lot of videos that I've made over the past decade. And I thank you guys so much for your support and for watching me and supporting me. Even if you're new or you're old, I thank you so much. These 10 years have been amazing. And let's shoot for another 10. Alright. See you guys later. Bye-bye.